Scarcity. The diamond industry is a masterclass in artificial scarcity. In 1888, Cecil Rhodes founded De Beers Consolidated Mines. Before this, diamonds were rare finds in riverbeds. Suddenly, South African mines flooded the market. Supply threatened to crash the value. De Beers responded by seizing control of every mine. They restricted the flow of stones to the public. They created a global cartel. They invented the slogan, "A diamond is forever," in 1947 to prevent people from reselling their jewelry. If you do not sell it, the secondary market stays empty. The price remains high. Your engagement ring is a testament to a controlled supply chain. It is a common mineral sold as a generational treasure. The scarcity is a mathematical lie designed to exploit your desire for uniqueness. Digital platforms utilize the same biological panic. Travel websites display red text stating only one room remains at this price. This is often a lie generated by a random number script. It triggers the amygdala. Your heart rate increases. Your executive function shuts down. You stop comparing prices and start clicking. E-commerce sites use countdown timers for sales that never actually end. They create a limited edition culture for mass-produced plastic. We fear being left behind by the herd. We buy things we do not want to avoid the pain of losing an opportunity that never existed. The modern economy runs on manufactured desperation. We are not consumers anymore. We are just nervous systems reacting to fake timers. Scarcity is the ultimate leash for the modern animal. Nostalgia. Nostalgia was once a medical diagnosis. In 1688, Swiss physician Johannes Hofer coined the term to describe the suffering of mercenaries fighting far from home. Symptoms included persistent melancholy, insomnia, and high fever. It was considered a physical disease of the brain. Doctors believed the constant clanging of cowbells in the Alps damaged the eardrums of soldiers, causing a pathological longing for home. Today, nostalgia is a multi-billion-dollar product. It is no longer a disease. It is a marketing strategy. We are sold the 1980s in neon-soaked packages. We are sold the 1990s through pixelated graphics and plastic toys. We yearn for a past that has been airbrushed by corporate designers. We ignore the actual history of those decades to buy the aesthetic. The entertainment industry survives on this loop. Film studios refuse to produce original scripts because the risk is too high. They prefer to reboot your childhood. They sell you the same stories you watched when you were 6 years old. They rely on the fading effect bias. Your brain forgets the boredom and the pain of the past and only remembers the highlights. You believe the world was better then. It was not. You were just younger and had fewer bills. Capitalists have successfully commodified your own memories. They sell your childhood back to you at a premium. You are paying for a return to a womb that is made of plastic and intellectual property. Nostalgia is the anesthetic that makes the present tolerable while draining your bank account. Moral outrage. Moral outrage is the fuel of the digital age. Evolutionarily, outrage served a purpose. It allowed small tribes to identify and punish those who violated social norms. It ensured cooperation and survival. In the modern world, this instinct has been hijacked by algorithms. Anger is the most viral emotion. It spreads faster than joy, sadness, or fear. Social media platforms prioritize high-arousal content. They want you to feel a sense of righteous fury. Every time you see a headline that makes your blood boil, a line of code has achieved its goal. You are more likely to share, comment, and stay on the app. Your cortisol levels spike. You feel a surge of tribal belonging as you attack the perceived enemy. This cycle creates a feedback loop of performative anger. We spend our days scanning the horizon for things to be offended by. We believe we are fighting for justice, but we are actually generating ad revenue. The platforms do not care if you are right. They only care that you are engaged. They monetize the friction between groups. They amplify the most extreme voices to ensure the conflict never ends. We have traded actual community building for the dopamine hit of a digital lynching. We are trapped in a coliseum where the lions and the gladiators are both controlled by the same billionaire. Moral outrage is the most efficient way to turn a human being into a predictable data point. The endowment effect. The endowment effect is a psychological glitch where we overvalue things simply because we own them. In 1990, economist Richard Thaler gave mugs to a group of students. He then asked them to sell the mugs to their peers. The students who owned the mugs demanded twice as much money as the buyers were willing to pay. The mere act of possession changed their internal valuation. This is why you have a closet full of clothes you never wear. You cannot throw them away because they are yours. Your brain treats the loss of an object as a physical wound. We are biologically programmed to hoard resources. We confuse our identity with our inventory. We think we are what we own. Corporations exploit this through the 30-day free trial. Once the software or the mattress is in your home, it becomes part of your internal map. Canceling the subscription feels like a loss. You would rather pay the monthly fee than experience the psychological pain of giving something up. The IKEA effect is a subspecies of this trap. Because you built the bookshelf yourself, you think it is a masterpiece. You ignore the crooked shelves and the missing screws. You are blind to the reality of the object. Ownership is a hallucination that prevents rational decision-making. We spend our lives defending piles of junk because we have mistaken a shopping receipt for a personality trait. Reciprocity. Reciprocity is a social contract written into our DNA. If a neighbor gave a prehistoric human a piece of meat, that human felt an intense obligation to return the favor. This kept the tribe alive during lean winters. Today, this instinct is used to sell you insurance and luxury cars. The Hare Krishna movement mastered this in the 1970s. They would walk through airports and give people a free flower. Most people did not want the flower. But once they held it, the rule of reciprocity took over. They felt a crushing social pressure to give a donation. It did not matter that they hated the gift. They had to balance the scales. The debt had to be paid. This is why supermarkets offer free samples. It is not because they think a small cube of cheese will convince you of its quality. It is because your brain feels like a thief if you walk away without buying the box. Content marketing operates on the same principle. Companies give you free information, videos, and guides. They are not being generous. They are loading you with psychological debt. When they finally ask for your credit card number, you are more likely to comply. You want to resolve the internal tension of the unreturned favor. Kindness in the commercial world is usually just a high-interest loan. We are all walking around with invisible ledgers, trying to pay back people who never liked us. The Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect is the brain's inability to forget an uncompleted task. In 1927, psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik noticed that waiters in a Vienna cafe could remember complex orders with perfect clarity. However, the moment the bill was paid, the memory vanished. The brain maintains a state of cognitive tension until a loop is closed. This is why you can remember a mistake you made 10 years ago, but cannot remember where you put your keys this morning. The mistake is an open loop. The brain is still trying to solve it. We are haunted by the things we did not finish. We are prisoners of our own unresolved narratives. We hate a story without a definitive ending. Entertainment companies use this to keep you binge-watching. The cliffhanger is a weaponized open loop. You do not watch the next episode because you are enjoying the story. You watch it because your brain is in a state of discomfort that can only be relieved by more information. Video games use progress bars and quest logs to trigger the same response. You will stay up until 4 in the morning to finish a digital task that has no real-world value. You are not playing for fun. You are playing to stop the itch of the unfinished task. The modern world is a minefield of intentional open loops. We are a species of completionists living in a world designed to never let us finish. Social proof. Social proof is the survival mechanism that tells us to follow the herd. If 100 people are running in one direction, you do not stop to ask why. You run. This was a great strategy for avoiding predators on the savannah. It is a terrible strategy for choosing a career or a political candidate. In 1951, Solomon Asch demonstrated that people would lie about the length of a line on a card if everyone else in the room lied first. They would rather be wrong than be different. We look to others to define reality. We assume that if a product has 5 stars and 10,000 reviews, it must be excellent. We ignore our own judgment. Television sitcoms use canned laughter for this exact reason. You know the laughter is fake. You know it was recorded in a studio decades ago. But when you hear it, you are more likely to find the joke funny. Your brain sees the laughter as social proof of quality. Influencer marketing relies on the same defect. We see someone with millions of followers, and we automatically grant them authority. We assume their success is a result of their competence. It is usually just a result of the algorithm favoring an early mover. We are social animals who are terrified of being the only one not clapping. We would rather fail with the crowd than succeed in isolation. Parasocial interaction. Parasocial interaction is the psychological phenomenon where we feel a one-sided intimacy with media figures. In 1956, researchers Donald Horton and Richard Wall observed that viewers felt a deep, personal connection with television hosts. Your brain is not equipped for the digital age. Evolution did not prepare us for the existence of screens. When you see a face in high definition talking directly to you, your mirror neurons fire. You feel like you are in a room with a friend. You develop trust. You develop loyalty. But the person on the screen does not know you exist. They are talking to a camera lens in a room full of lighting equipment. It is a simulated friendship. This is the foundation of the modern creator economy. We do not buy products. We buy the vibe of a person we think we know. We defend them in comment sections as if they were family members. We give them money through subscriptions and donations to feel a sense of belonging. This is a highly efficient way to exploit loneliness. The more isolated a society becomes, the more powerful parasocial bonds become. We replace actual human contact with the glow of a smartphone. We are emotionally invested in the lives of people who would not recognize us on the street. It is the ultimate triumph of marketing over reality. We have finally learned how to sell the feeling of being loved.